Hello, darling, and welcome to Style and Consciousness with Ejani. I'm Ejani, and I'm so happy you're here. And here we talk about elevating your style to expand your consciousness through the lens of my iconic essence system. So I want to tell you a little bit about why this matters. Why does style, right? Elevating your style, why does that expand your consciousness? And you may have not heard that before because that's not a typical take. Let's be honest. Okay. A lot of people see personal style as something that's kind of fluffy or superficial. They mistake personal style for fashion or fashion trends, right? That's not what we're talking about here. No, 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 my friend, or as my little toddler does, no, 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 no. We're talking about using how you dress to and express to amplify, right? To expand your consciousness. And here are three ways that that happens. So first, when you start wearing iconic outfits, right? Ones that truly express your essence, it's an instant frequency shifter. Okay, so hear me out. You've had those times where you wake up and maybe you're wearing your whatever, your some jammies that aren't quite, they're not quite iconic. Maybe they're a little bit frumpy, right? Or a little bit stretched and a little bit whatever, stained even. I've been there. And so you wake up and go start working at your computer doing stuff, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm going to get dressed. So for maybe first you're not very inspired, you feel like low energy, and then you go and you put on an outfit that you love, and suddenly you are like, you feel activated, right? Like if when you know that sweet spot that you hit sometimes where it's just like, oh, I feel like I could take on the world wearing this. And so suddenly you have all these ideas pouring in. Suddenly you're taking selfies, posting, reaching out to people, interacting with people outside, right? It's like a whole, literally a different vibe because it's a different frequency, right? Because your clothes, it's not just fabric. The way you put that your outfits together creates an energetic landscape that can either activate something in the higher frequencies or keep you in the lower frequencies, right? So when you do that, like obviously it's going to impact how you see yourself, how you see the stuff around you, how you experience possibilities, how you act, what your choices are, right? It can actually be a portal to a shifting reality, to a new paradigm. Ooh, this is why I love this. Let's keep working out. So the second way that your style, elevating your style, expands your consciousness is that it literally reprograms and sort of rewires your brain, creates new neural pathways. Here's how. So you are used to seeing yourself in a certain way. You've created certain patterns. Those patterns are ingrained in your brain. Those patterns are ingrained in your subconscious, right? And so the subconscious mind loves tangible proof. So if you keep seeing yourself over and over again as whatever, being unworthy, being not unsuccessful, being not having confidence, things like that. And then you're dressing from there, and then you see yourself in a mirror, or you catch yourself a glimpse of yourself on the side of a building as you're going somewhere. What's reflected back at you is going to reinforce, right? Because you're dressing what you already think, and then dressing that way, seeing it's going to reinforce that and really like cement that pattern. Really like the groove. If you imagine it, that groove is really deep. Okay. When you start shifting how you dress, when you start actually letting yourself have it and you start wearing activated outfits, it's almost like, I love this metaphor. So you imagine an animal plowing, right? You imagine that, what is it, like a bull or something, plowing, like pulling the plow, right? The old school wooden plow, and it's like plowing and creating that groove, right? I obviously don't know the technical terms, but stay with me. So it's creating that groove where then you can put the seeds, right? The farmer can then go and put the seeds, and that groove is really easy. The bull just has to follow it, and it's going to create that same pattern. It's going to be straight every time because it is really well like established, that groove, right? So those are our patterns. If you were to change like the course of that bull just a couple of degrees in one way or the direction or the other, that bull's going to start moving, and eventually that tiny little shift is going to take that bull in a whole other direction, right? And so that's how it is with how you dress. When you start making those little shifts, you start choosing differently, you start acting like, showing up, dressing differently, and you're reinforcing, that's who I am. Oh my goodness, I'm this person who shows up like this. And you start catching those glimpses and seeing yourself in a different way. Wow, look at me. I'm like the shit. I'm pretty hot shit, HAUTE. I'm like, wow. You start feeling differently about yourself. that's that little shift that's gonna start taking things in a whole other direction because your choices become different, your thoughts are different, your frequency is different, and that makes a difference in every area of your life. So it literally reprograms your subconscious. Okay, still excited about sharing this with you. And the third way is that it collapses time, right? Collapses time between you and what you want. I don't mean this in a linear way. So what I mean by this is when you start dressing as iconic you now, because you are iconic you now, you are everything you desire to be right now. When you start dressing as that right now and being that frequency right now, everything you desire, that you know, every all that you want, whatever success looks like to you, whatever luxury and abundance or whatever the fuck, right? Whatever that is that you really would love to have, suddenly when you start being that version of you right now, it's not as far away anymore. That distance, suddenly it collapses. So suddenly you're being exactly who you want to be. You're feeling and you're being the frequency of everything you desire right now. So hence that distance is collapsed, that time is collapsed, and mega magic can really happen. You don't have to wait for certain things to fall into place, for you to have certain amounts of money, for you to have this client or this whatever accolade before you can be that icon, as I call it, right? No, you get to be it right now. And so when it's like, then you bring all that comes with that frequency closer to you. Isn't that fucking magical? So that's what we're doing here. It starts with an outfit and then it ripples out into other areas of your 3D life through the frequency that you're being. And here's the beautiful thing. So in my Iconic Essence system, the way we're doing that, which you'll see in my other videos, is through the elements, knowing what your elements are. So we each lead with 2 of the 5 elements: air, water, fire, earth, and space, right? And so when you know what your 2 elements are, you're finally able to bring to the forefront parts of yourself that you have perhaps been resisting, denying, trying to ignore, trying to crop out, right? That actually, when you bring them and you allow them to exist fully and you embrace the F out of them, right? It's like those parts that you thought were the lead, they get to come and turn into gold. They get to tell a more that you suddenly your frequency is even more amplified because all those parts you were resisting about yourself that are carried within your elements come to light. They get to step into the forefront. They get to exist again. And so it's like you really embracing all parts of yourself. And as a result, you just effortlessly start showing up with more integrity because you're in more truth and you're just in more alignment, right? And then when you're in more alignment, your frequency is at the higher levels of frequency. And there's nothing higher than a tone of freaking truth, okay? So imagine you're dressing truth all the time and it's allowing you to create this frequency and to emanate outwardly and changes your inner state and your outer state as a result. Isn't that fucking magical? So it starts with your 2 elements. Okay, I love this. So I talk about the elements here in a lot of different ways through looking at celebrities and reality TV stars. If you want me to talk about anyone in particular, put it in the comments below. If you want to know what your elements are and you want to start playing with your iconicness, there are 2 things you can do here, darling. Number 1 is go and take the Iconic brand quiz. You go through it twice and it'll give you your 2 elements. You can start playing with those characteristics and traits, start experimenting, and you can take it to the second thing that you can do is go to my 5-day Activate Your Iconic Style Challenge. That's where you're going to take your 2 element results and you're going to start applying them to creating iconic outfits. So over the course of 5 days, I give you prompts and different fun dares and little insights so that you can start experiencing iconic you from the outside in starting now. Okay, so both of those are going to be linked. And I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so giddy for all the magic that we're going to create. Please like, please subscribe, please leave me a little comment. Tell me how you feel about all this. Have you ever connected personal style with expanded consciousness? I want to hear from you, darling. And until next time, see you soon. Bye.